I know. I'm the one who suggested it. It's the only way to get Camelot to hold off moving the menhir. Yvain can count on me. After everything that's happened, I see now that this is the right path. Tell Yvain I'll join him on this holy mission. Go with her.
Eeyore is still wet behind the ears. His heart is barely beating. Until I'm sure he can handle things, can't leave on his own. Eeyore is still wet behind the ears. His heart is barely beating.
What for? Menhir burns beautifully. That makes sense. I can see it now. And he. How unexpected. Honestly, I think getting worse. Every danger. Agate inside me. Strong. That's why they here. Protect others. Hell, honesty.
Sure about that? Something for me to look at? Hmm. My eyes, he never looked like I remember following. I managed each morning after that. Burning of my wound grew more intense. Seems stern, but he's a good, hard-working man. Time, though, personal. As soon as I was sure I could swing the hammer twice, I got straight to work. I'm forging a new. I know I've back the one that beats in my chest. Something wrong with it. Weaker. I am weak. Steady. It's easier for me to grow impatient, angry. Things seem to cut me. I feel like my heart is. So far, those hearts are far too weak to beat. There's a legend about the stone wall. It tells they could heart that could man in. Sadly, right now I'm banging my head against. Dalriata Master. You think something can't be fought? Likely all found a way. They have their methods, down from generation to generation. Outsiders rarely, if ever, gain access. Well, since the Stone Warden, Dalriata, hands are tied, Vrel is the only tribes that. The Dalriata's books. Something. I was planning to ask her legends myself. Maybe you could do it. Her fear will clobber me with a hammer if I jerk my way again. Thank you. Vrel. The menhir in Cunacht is dying. The nights have become even more dangerous. People say the weirdness creeping Camelot is difficult. I want to do my job the best I can. It hasn't been easy for him. His entire world has become a change around. You've seen what they did to the trees near Cunacht. Even before. Mind the
Oh, where'd you hear a tale like that? No, I so far. Oceans as heartless beasts only capable of fires of something only another blacksmith would believe. Oh, that Beor. About him. Into those creatures is never whole when it turns. Turns its leaving what's left little more husk. Sorry, your friend Bear. Ironed it. Skin's too brittle. Old. Baffling. To forge a heart, you need a metal that will sting as your heart stings. Smile. Once for a man who's frozen by an feared it would shatter. Other. Its chest. Both full. Bound to the steel. Only a stone wall. And art fewer of us know. Sworn to have the wage steel. Be woven. Good. Moment to find the right. It's my touch. Yeah. Friend will have a strong, beautiful heart. At least in turn. Is up. Just an empty vessel. Needs to be filled. Heart must be full of life. But we'll talk about that. A two-way. Death. Through sacrifice. Of course not. Fill it with the life creatures you can. Take some time. A life torn away. Can't say what effect it'll have on Beor. The method we use often. Sure. Say some that. If it will give you another kind. Far more valuable. Old lump of steel. You think. Want to fill it up with the hold it up when you find. Will collect life and at some point. To me and you decide to fill on energy. Me. The way. Come back with your full heart. Of course. This part never. Don't resist. Let go of your instincts and focus on. Feel a bit weak after. Don't worry. Strength can. Warm it is. It will.
What do you need? That's amazing. What materials did... Oh my. I have for this. Okay then. See if those Stone Warden legends are a grain of truth. Hey, that's it. Surprising. Simple it is to one's heart and tear it out, isn't it? It's different. It looks a bit like it's prepared in, but I don't feel bad. In fact, good. Stronger. Guess I'm clear with time. Now, see, the measure of my debt to you, 2 hearts. How a man could ever repay something like that. I'll be going back to work. Visit me sometime. Don't be a stranger. What do you need?
Eor's fully recovered. Doing well, making his own decisions. Doesn't need an old man hovering over him. And, well, be honest, been waiting for this moment. I'm proud of him. You've done right by me, so I'll give you some advice. This whole expedition, madness. As they say, sometimes there's method in madness. And I'll admit, I'm glad these old bones can still be useful. I might not think much of our Lord, but I won't turn my back on him when he help. This isn't just about him. It's about our home. I'll do whatever I can for Cunacht. Tell Yvain, count on me. Even if it's the last journey I'll ever take.
I am an outcast, exiled from my home by the Red Death. My struggle continues on the holy island of Avalon. When you hear the word, follow it. Set an example for other outcasts. With your faith, your testimony, the word is our only chance to rid ourselves of the plague's taint. And if the word commands you to kill your brothers for spreading heresy, do so, for such is his way. If the word commands you to besmirch your father's name, do so and discard your sullied self, for such is your way.
Everything will be just fine.
What news? The people I told you about. Have any of them agreed to join me on the quest for the Holy Grail? Well done. Naturally, I would have preferred to bring them all, but 2 will make fine company. Perhaps along the way we'll meet others willing to lend us their skills. After all, I hardly believe you're the only one bold enough to roam the world in search for adventure. You've done me a great favor, so allow me to repay. Before I depart, know this. You brought change to Connacht and earned my deep. Let my repayment be the blessing my lineage received, Arthur himself. Be the shield that watches over Connacht, has House Terion done for generations.
I am his oath, the weight of duty that shields the faithful. I am the wall between order and ruin.
You can't just allow for things like that to happen. Not ever again. Not when the kingdom is beginning to find its way. You're the king, and that comes with a whole lot more responsibility. You can't let people like Merlin do what they want, even if their intentions are pure. You must see the danger now.
The memory of Seawall is my burden. Harder to bear than I'd like to admit. But I've realized that his story is what happens when power answers to no one.
Then do something so that a tragedy like that never happens again.
Palamedes, you've always spoken your mind, even when I didn't want to hear it. You've stood beside me through the darkest days and fought not for glory, but for Avalon and its people.
I have done only what I believe was right. Nothing more.
Yes, and that made me realize that Merlin was wrong. The legacy I leave won't endure through the legend of a single man, whether it's me or anyone else. I decided to give my sword to the Horns of the South, to bind them not to me, but to the people. But Avalon needs more than that. It needs structures, memory, and resistance to corruption. It needs the foundation of something greater than any one of us.
A shield?
Yes. One to guard Avalon, even from itself. You've proven yourself time and again, so my shield is yours, Palamedes. Not just to wield, but to become. Let your bloodline anchor what my reign could not.
And you believe I am worthy of such a responsibility? I will not fail you, my king.
Don't carry this burden for me, Palamedes. You never have. Carry it for Avalon. And may your name be a blessing upon this land for generations to come. Now I understand. The shield isn't an object. It's the bloodline itself. So remember, the shield was meant to resist. Not enemies, not blades, but corruption, compromise, cowardice. Palamedes understood that. Nothing I've seen here reminds me of him. Nothing resembles the kingdom we were trying to build. Lord Yvain, a mere shadow of ancestor, not worthy of his title, nor of leading his people. I tried to build something lasting. Something that wouldn't depend on me to survive. I distributed power, paid it to oaths, not blood. Gave regions autonomy, left behind symbols to bind them. But what we've seen so far, not a kingdom. Theater. People playing at being lords and commanders, taking on roles they don't even understand. All I've seen here is fear. Indecisive men wearing the mask of power. But their power comes from symbols they don't even understand. And when a decision needs to be made, they hesitate. When danger appears, they flinch. Denholm, commander of Camelot's forces, is incapable of acting without direct orders. Yvain, a descendant of Palamedes, yet too weak to stand against choices that harm his people. Their fear breeds indecision. If you cannot choose, you cannot protect. And if you cannot protect, Avalon rots. It was you the menhir responded to, and you who rekindled it. You did all the work, turned the situation into something Yvain could exploit. Without that, Cunacht would still be waiting. For what? A miracle? That's why I have to come back. Without us, without hands, act, this land waits and rots. Merlin wanted me to become a symbol. But I realized that one person, one myth, won't be enough. This kingdom needed more. It needed to stand on stronger foundations. And so, I left mementos behind, to serve as cornerstones for various facets of the kingdom. It seems we're both wrong. Yes, the situation is complex, but that is precisely the burden of a leader. Complexity does not excuse paralysis, and yet they sit in deadlock, doing nothing, while the world around them fractures. Turn every resource toward understanding why the weirdness is returning and stopping it. Hiding in Camelot is cowardice. Staying here? Stupidity. But what I would do doesn't matter. This is precisely why Palamedes was made Avalon's shield. To judge for himself what serves the people. Even if it meant standing against me. We gave our people peace, but they've come to take it for granted. Perhaps those who live without struggle grow soft, and in comfort, they let go of their value. Symbols, without the will to uphold them, a little more than ornament. I named his bloodline the Shield of Cunacht, and granted them dominion over this menhir, with full autonomy. The land here is among the richest in Avalon. This place was meant to stand as a counterweight to Camelot's rising power. Well, my friend, they still call me the once and future king. Still hold feasts in my name. Feasts won't save them, but action might. We've wasted enough time. Let's move to the Forlorn Swords. Find my crown. Let's make me whole. It's the last hope for this wretched kingdom of ruin.
Iron, stay